Okay. Yeah, keep Hardy there, right? What happened? Well, listen. Etiquette judges? Yeah, they tell them best to not take their photo. Yo. No, that makes sense.
Did she tell you when it's time for them to come, you say post? When it's time for them to come down, you say post.
Post?
And when it's time for them to go back, you say recover.
What's that for? The honor guard?
Yeah, I don't know if that's on there.
Probably not. Oh, I was about to say you. Well, it's on you, because you are after the speaker sits down. Then you're up. The all rise instruction.
Still Girard?
Yeah.
Okay, that's recover. In the beginning, after the seniors walk in,
You may be seated. Post. Please stand. Please be seated. Good morning. We have to do a little better than that. Good morning. Thank you, Girard College. Our chapel program this morning is a special one because we're recognizing all those who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces, especially our Girard College alumni and staff. Each year on November 11th, the United States observes Veterans Day to honor the service, sacrifice, and unwavering dedication of our military veterans and their families. I'd like to take a moment to recognize all of our staff members who have served in the armed forces. When I call your name, please stand up to be recognized. Mr. Brandon Davis, maintenance mechanic with HLP, U.S. Army. Ms. Keisha Booker, assistant residential dean, U.S. Army. Ms. Maria Kaplan, elementary school music teacher, U.S. Army. Mr. Anthony Wooten, Heat and Light and Power, U.S. Navy. Mr. Richard Perdomo, Residential Advisor, Army and Marines. Ramir Sawyer, Security Officer, U.S. Army. Ms. Waleska Martinez, Executive Assistant, Office of the Student Experience, U.S. Army. Ms. Elena Perry, Director of Communications and Branding, Army Reserves. Mr. Marcel Bassett, Executive Assistant to Vice President of Operations, U.S. Army. Please applaud all of our veterans. This morning, I would also like to give a special shout out to our Laundry and Dining Services team. Laundry and Dining Services, please stand up. Thank you for all that you do for our Girard community. This morning, we're fortunate to have Gregory Wright Jr., class of 2012, graduate of Girard College, joining us as our guest speaker. I now have the pleasure of telling you about Jeremiah Price, our student presenter, who will introduce Greg. Let's get that a little louder, though. Let's do it. Jeremiah Price. Okay. Jeremiah is a member of our amazing senior class. Let's hear it for the class of 2026. Jeremiah began attending Girard College in the 4th grade, and in addition to his academic studies, he's a proud member of the Boy Scouts. Jeremiah also is a member of the Girard College track team, and he is ranked among the top 40 hurdlers across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Jeremiah will be heading to college next fall, and he's already been accepted to 8 schools: South Carolina State University, LaSalle University, Community College of Philadelphia, Morgan State University, Delaware State University, Compton State University, East Stroudsburg University, and Cheyney University. He said he had a couple more coming. Just wait, just hold on. Wherever Jeremiah decides to go to school next year, we look forward to hearing how his intended major of civil engineering develops his passion for structural design. Girard College, please join me in welcoming Jeremiah to the stage.
As said before, my name is Jeremiah Price, and I'm a part of the most distinguished, truly exceptional class of 2026. This morning, we are pleased to have Gregory Wright Jr. joining us. Greg is a 2012 graduate of Girard College, and he is currently the head of Philadelphia Office of Veteran Affairs. Throughout his career, Greg has worked in law enforcement, human resources, and he also served in the Pennsylvania Army National Guard. Greg, who grew up in North Philadelphia, credits Girard with helping him develop a strong foundation in leadership and community service. As a Girard student, Greg played basketball, tennis, ran track, and he was also a member of the Yearbook Club and earned the Duke of Edinburgh Award. Driven by a desire to serve his country and his community, Greg enlisted in the National Guard before he graduated from Girard. He served in the National Guard for 14 years and advanced to the rank of Staff Sergeant. His military service included a deployment to the Middle East during the COVID-19 pandemic, where he earned several honors, including the Army Achievement Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the Overseas Service Ribbon, and the Armed Force Reserve Medal. We're grateful for your service to our country, and we're glad you're here with us this morning. Please give Greg a warm Girard welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the warm welcome back home, and no less on my 32nd birthday. So I appreciate it. Thank you. So it's been an honor, really, to be back home and to be able to speak to y'all because I never thought that something like this would happen, especially at this age, and all of our speakers were always a lot older, and I still don't feel like I've accomplished enough to be able to be before you guys, but I'm humbled to be here. So it's my privilege to stand here this morning, not just as an alumnus, not just as a public servant, but as someone whose life was profoundly shaped by this institution. Every chapter of my story begins somewhere within these walls. And when I think about those chapters, I think about the people who helped write them. I think about Miss Slocum, who at the time was known as Miss Frost to me, who taught me compassion simply through the way she taught, with patience, with kindness, and with love. So thank you. I think about my 5th grade teacher who no longer works here. She's a principal elsewhere, but her name was Miss Duvall, and she taught me respect by how she handled differences in the classroom. She treated each of us with dignity, and somehow she still made us fall in love with the learning process. And I think about Miss Carlock. Who stood in front of us and said, "I have my education, it's up to you to want yours," reminding us that responsibility for our future rested in our hands. These individuals, and so many more, have helped shape the chapters of my story long before I knew the path my life would take. Girard was more than a school to me. It was a training ground, a place that instilled structure, discipline, and a deep sense of purpose. The routines, the expectations, the sense of community, they weren't always easy, as I'm sure y'all know, but they prepared us for life in ways we never fully understood as kids. What makes Girard special is that we were raised with a set of values that follow us long after we leave the gates. And trust me, they for sure will. You start to realize that the values that were instilled in us are what makes us so much more different than our counterparts once we get outside of these walls. The values of respect, responsibility, integrity, courage, and compassion were not just printed on banners or recited at assemblies, they became part of who we are. Respect taught me how to treat others with dignity, no matter their background or circumstance. Responsibility taught me that my actions mattered, that I was accountable for the way I carried myself. Integrity became the standard by which I lived, especially in difficult moments. Courage reminded me to step forward when the situation was hard, not when it was convenient. And compassion centered me in service, reminding me that leadership is ultimately about people. And then there's the phrase that shaped so much of my life: "My deeds must be my life," by Stephen Girard. Those words have been my compass. They taught me that legacy isn't built on titles or positions, it's built on actions. It's built on the choices you make when no one is watching and on the impact you leave behind. Those lessons guided me when I became a Philadelphia police officer, serving in the very neighborhoods that I grew up in outside of these walls. I understood what it meant to carry myself with integrity and compassion, to respond to crisis while remembering the humanity of the community I served. Respect, responsibility, and courage weren't theoretical values, they were daily requirements. My journey continued as a soldier serving the city, the state, and the nation. And the Pennsylvania National Guard, discipline mattered, but so did empathy. You learn quickly that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the willingness to show up anyway. You learn that responsibility is not just about your own safety, but the safety of the person standing next to you. And you learn that compassion is essential, even in uniform. Today, I have the honor of serving as the Director of Veteran Affairs for the City of Philadelphia, the youngest director in the country on the county level. And the first Black director in the City of Philadelphia. I carry that responsibility with humility, gratitude, and a deep understanding that my presence in this role represents many who came before me but did not have the same opportunity. In this position, every value Girard taught me continues to guide my work. Respect for veterans who sacrifice so much, responsibility to serve them with excellence, integrity in the policies we shape and the decisions we make, courage to advocate for them, especially when the system falls short, and it falls short a lot. Compassion to understand their struggles and meet their needs with dignity. Girard prepared me for this. To the students sitting here today, to the senior class, I want you to understand something clearly. Y'all are being shaped for greatness. These values, respect, responsibility, integrity, courage, and compassion will carry you into places you cannot yet imagine, and I promise you, you can't. I never thought I would be here. They will open doors. They will sustain you when life becomes difficult. They will define the leader that you become. You may not see it yet, but Girard has given you a foundation stronger than most people ever receive. This school, these walls, they're giving you the tools to lead, to serve, and to make an impact far beyond anything you can currently envision. And when you step into the world, remember Stephen Girard's words, "My deeds must be my life." Not your circumstances, not your challenges, not what people expected of you, your deeds. I stand here today, a former Girard student, former police officer, a soldier, a veteran, and now the Director of Veteran Affairs for one of the greatest cities in America, because this institution here taught me to live a life rooted in service. Thank you, Girard, for shaping who I am. Thank you for instilling values that continue to guide my steps, and thank you for reminding me every day that service is the highest calling. May we all continue to honor that legacy through our deeds, through our compassion, and through our commitment to uplift the communities that uplifted us. Thank you.
We have a little plaque for you. It says for Mr. Gregory Wright, Jr., Girard College class of 2012, in appreciation for serving as our chapel speaker, but more than that, as a great example of what Girard can produce. November 19th, 2025, Girard College and the Board of Directors of City Trust. Thank you so much. Now, before chapel, a little guy over there asked me how tall I was, and I said 6'1". He went, "Wow, you see this guy?" Felt like a little boy standing next to him. Thank you so much for being here today. This has been a great chapel. Now it's time to close, so I'm going to ask everybody to stand. Post. post, excuse me, recover. That's why they didn't come. Now I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Etan for the singing of Hail Girard.
Remain standing and sing Hail Girard with pride. Hail Girard, our alma mater, noble, fair, and strong, cradle meet for civic virtue, praise her with a song. First thou art in worth and beauty, first in our regard. Sing we then our alma mater, mother dear Girard. Children of the great republic, lovers of the flag bestarred, mighty masters of the future, swell the chorus, shout Girard.